Hello, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here, and it's going to be my July, nope, not, it's nearly the middle of July. This is going to be my June wrap up for 2023, reflections, look through my journal, tarot journals, and the cards I've played with, and my decks and things, and my lists are growing. And I just want to say now, before I forget, because I know I'm going to forget, Simon over at the Hermit's Cave did do in the month of June, I believe it was, a spotlights or highlights deck tag. So when you kind of decide what decks you're going to work with for the month, and then another deck just keeps saying, no, please work with me. And I did end up having a very similar situation this month with my decks, hence the reason I have a few more out to play with. So without further ado, we'll get on to that. But if you want to go and look at the live that he did where he put that tag out, then just pop over and have a look. I don't know which video it's going to be now, so if I get time to scroll back and find it, I will. Simon, if you do happen to watch this, or somebody watching this knows what it is, then drop into the comments section if you just put the link in there. Starting as always with my Moon Diary 2023, can I say I'm very excited. I had an email. Do I have an email, preview email, or was it on their Facebook page? Pre-orders are coming up for 2024. They haven't given away any of the pages. I don't know what the theme's going to be next year, but the pre-orders are coming, so I haven't missed them. Phew. So I'm still in time to get this. So I've got it on my, table for next year. So I'm very pleased about that fact. And I don't know if I'll continue to use it as a tarot journal or not. I probably will. I've enjoyed using it that way now for quite a while. I think all three of them actually have been tarot journals in one way or another. All right, so, July, wrong month. That's my July tracker. Put that back there. So June. There we go, there's my daily pulls at a glance. So if I want to count up my cards and see what my main themes are, this is the point to this page. That's why it's here. And creating the keywords, or just using the one keyword from my write-up and expanding on it then in my dailies on this diary. And it's not something that I'll probably come back to en masse to, reflect on. It's just something I like to do. And also if I use a different deck for this to the one that I use in my other journal, it keeps the deck in rotation and I'm working with it daily. So that's the other thing that I like to do. So a deck for dailies, a deck for weeklies, two different decks for different kind of bonding experiences. And this one was the Spectro World deck that I was using for my monthlies, my weeklies for the entire month. My dailies for the month. Oh, spit it out. So entering July, starting July, we started in the zodiac of the Gemini, because that started end of May. And the herb for June is skullcap. Now I don't have skullcap, and I didn't get to looking up anything to replace it, because actually it's been really busy. Life's been quite busy, I have to say. So I didn't get around to replacing or looking up or using something else. But what I was using is still mint and nettle from May. So mint and nettle does play a huge part of my life around this time, in my teas, brews, just generally. So that's still around and playing a big part. So yeah, this isn't really neither here nor there. And the other thing that did pop in was star anise that I've been using. I didn't work with moonstone, although I do have a moonstone pyramid upstairs on my crystal table. The June Healing Dragon is Harlequin Quartz. Again, I don't know what Harlequin Quartz looks like, but it has hematite in it, apparently. But I've never seen a Harlequin Quartz. And then here you go. So you can see where I've missed a couple of pages. It's quite self-explanatory. We have the honey full moon and a rose honey recipe there, which sounds amazing. So you get, as I said, different recipes in the months as you go through, and they change per book. So it's not the same recipe in every diary, and that's another really nice thing. So if you just wanted to collect the recipes for the moons, you could just simply pull them out and create a moon recipe, cooking book or something. But this one is fresh rose petals and your favorite honey. And then basically with the fresh rose petals that have kind of been dried, you know, so they're not wet, they're not got moisture on them, and you infuse them, you put them into your honey and stir it in, and then you leave it, and then what that does is it puts a very gentle rose flavour into your honey, and then, you know, use it for whatever you want to do, sweetening your teas, eating on toast, cooking, whatever, gifting. And then there's a full moon wishing jar and how to do that there as well. And we have the new moon. Create your new moon journal. So for reflecting, and then as you see, just going through, we had Father's Day as well on the 18th of June, which interestingly landed on a new moon as well, which I thought was, I don't know why, but to me it just seemed poignant. And then we have Summer Solstice and Letha, again, some lovely pages with beautiful artwork. I just love, you know, I could just go on and on. I have a big love for the pages, the artwork, the way this is put together, the fact that it's a little local kitchen tabletop business, doing the best they can from, you know, as I say, their kitchen. I think they do absolutely amazingly. So we have Letha oat biscuit recipe. I was going to make this, and again, life ran away with me and I didn't get there. And then I have like kind of things I wanted to do for my new moon. So things that I wanted to do in the house, completing the upstairs bedrooms, made a list, started collecting, started completing things, other things, and then things I wanted to release. Went back and created a pre-order list of stuff that's going on there. And I don't think there's anything there that you need to know, because that's more personal purchases for the house. But there's the pre-order decks. One got removed, one got pulled on Kickstarter. It turned out it wasn't the person that was advertising its work. That was a bit scary, actually, I have to say, because I didn't realise the deck had already been out and about. It was a beautiful deck called Fairy Tale Tarot. But luckily Kickstarter have these safety things in place whereby you get an alert, they tell you, they pull the project for a bit, and then you get your refund on the money. So that was really nice to see Kickstarter do that, and, you know, have that integrity and give me that confidence in their brand and safety shopping on that platform, because of course we all have that worry, don't we, about losing our money when we back things. And then most stuff's here. I cancelled the Alleyway Tarot and Oracles. That was a big decision to make, but I decided that as I don't get to use the Man Tarot as much as perhaps I ought to, because I have so many decks in rotation, I didn't need another 4 decks doing the same thing. And in the tarot deck, there was a lot of cards that I really didn't like. Actually, they weren't particularly great. There was a few brilliant cards and the rest was just a bit meh. So I thought, I don't need to pay 130 quid for you know, a meh deck and a couple of oracles that I may or may not choose to use or rearrange. So yeah, that was the best decision for me, I think. And I'm still waiting on decks to come in, basically. And then we are into July. So I was feeling ruthless with clearing out things that I did or didn't need to order. How's that? One deck. And then, of course, my tarot journal. Where are we? We're up here. So here we are. We have some doodling and collage. Started to put things back in. So we've got some flowers, washi tape, nice little sticker there. And then, of course, doodles. So when I did my spread for the year, birthday spread, starting June, I started to get the feeling of keywords for the month, and that's what I've written onto my pages now. So this is the first month it started, actually, so starting June, yeah. So there's my keyword for the month that I picked up when I was doing my spread. And then here we have what cards I got. So we had the Queen of Spirit for my tarot, and that is let your intuition inspire your passions, listen to the channeled messages and inspiration. We had 9 storm fields from the Enchanted Maps Oracle deck, I think. Or was that... Oh, I can't remember. Already can't remember. Time to restructure what fits your surroundings. Avoid speaking out of hurt or anger. This only creates chaos. And then the third deck that I popped in that I wasn't going to do, but I did in the end, is Open the Door, Explore Your Knowledge, Grow Your Spirituality, See Beyond the Veil. And then from that, I got my word spirituality. Then I have my daily pull. I've put down the Lily White. The weekly was going to be Tarot of Angels from Total Tarot magazine, deck from Los Scarabeo. My daily Oracle, Wylder Ones. My moon spreads, the Hush Tarot. Unplanned became Spectro Whirl. And then Enchanted Maps Oracle, Samirammay Tarot, Magickal Botanical, Lonely Souls Oracle, Abandoned Oracle, Witches Oracle became my other decks / spotlight decks that appeared out from nowhere. So the Deacon Walk following Marlena Therese on YouTube. Here we are. We have the second and third Deacons of Gemini. Again, nothing's changing here, so I will take a picture of this and I'll upload it onto my online journal, although I'm behind with everything. So at least having my paper form here, like my brain dump here, in a neat way, because you can understand this now. So I think I've found the format that will follow me through the whole entire 12 months and all the Deacons. So here it is written down. You can see what it all is. I can take a picture, I can add it to my digital journal, and I don't have to worry about trying to type into it. So this will just be, it's going to become just a collage of photos in that journal, probably with a little bit of writing, maybe some speech bubbles added, because I can put text onto that verbal voice records onto that journal as well. So that's probably what I'll do. And then I can even link Marlena Therese's videos from YouTube if I wanted to, on her deck and walk and the spreads that she does. I could even put those in there with her explanations of how to get through them. So yeah, I'm loving having that journal from Amethyst Ascension. I'll show that at the end if I remember. So here we are. So that is carrying on. Then we have my full moon, and this was the Hush Tarot. I've left a space here because I was actually meaning to take a picture of the spread. Forgot. But again, you can see, so I've doodled up my page and coloured it in. I wasn't going to colour this one in. Originally, it's going to be just black and white, and then I'm not sure what happened, but I chose to colour it in. I'm not disappointed either way. It looked good in black and white too. Then I have the week ahead, Grey Storm Cows. And you can see what I've been doing is that word that I had on that front page, my word for the month is here. And then I've put, from doing this, I just got this expand your mind to see. And then I had some weird symbols and things in my dream, so I've written those down there as well. And my cards just in weird shapes. So I have the energy, avoid and do this for this week. My tarot, deep freeze. So that's the Enchanted Maps Oracle up here. Tarot of Angels to do the spread, and my reflections for the How Did the Week Go. And I think that was back to the Tarot of Angels for my reflections. Then we have this one, taking inspiration from the Rose Oracle there, that picture, for anyone that's seen the deck, and this one and this one. This might have even been in there somewhere. So this is the, again, same decks, Angels and Tarots with Enchanted Maps Oracle, but the picture's inspired by a completely different deck. And for this one, I have the overall energy for the week. Avoid giving time or energy to this and try to focus on this instead. And then we had Stormfields. I think, do I see that somewhere else? Was that one of the first ones? Stormfields. Interesting. Yeah, so Stormfields was one of the card for the month, and it did actually come out on week 2 of my spreads. And then we have my reflections there, and I've put questions in. So what have I missed that's important to know, and what can I do to make the best use of this information now that I have it? Then we have week 3. I might have preset all these weeks up in advance while I was having a creative moment. Here we've used the Spectro Whirl Tarot and the Witches Oracle as a pairing for this spread. And that's why everything's so brightly coloured, to kind of match the energy of the Spectro Whirl. And we have the energy, let go of, embrace, spirit, nothing to kind of write home about here. And then we had the Book of Shadows with the chalice. And reflection was just, here was just simply pull the cards and read the story, without any prompt. From Longmans Tarot on YouTube, we have the Oak Tree spread for his year of the Ogham runes that he's created. And this is a 5-card spread this time. And we have, so this bit is my write-up, my reflections of this here. So I think it's based on kind of the message from the oak after I've done this whole spread. Because where does my strength lie? How can I embolden my courage? What is the theme for the second part of the year? How can I weather any personal storm? And a message from oak. And then we have, so my keyword here became sanctuary. And I put, your strength lies in your ability to stand tall and mighty when you are full fear and anxiety. Remaining the ever forward-looking explorative child, allowing wonder to come from disaster. It can't rain all the time is my quote there. Guess what film? Has framed much of your outlook of life. There is something to be said for allowing play in the face of adversity. Unity can bring comfort, not necessarily answers, but ideas and connection to build resilience. Remember to be the stronger person. Don't hold a grudge. Let that go. Heal your wounds and be free to be you in your truest sense, for you are the shelter to many. That was my message from Oak, based on that spread there. And we went into the first decan of June. So you're going to recognise this. I haven't popped the angel in yet. A summer solstice spread from Angelbrum or Angebrum.co. ANGEBRUM.co, I think is where it's from. And I used the Witch's Oracle, so that was an entire Oracle deck to do that one. And again, doodling. And then we have 3 cards spread here from at 3 Cats and a Cauldron. And I used the Samirammay Tarot to do this one. What should I keep growing? What is shining brightest for me now? And what should I shed at this time? So I just thought it was a really nice little spread there. And then I pulled a Oracle there as well. And I had the Calla Lily came out for this one, which tells me instantly that I was using a herb deck, and balance and harmony, personal empowerment, and then a little kind of bit there. And I've just put here, not to my circus, not to my monkeys. I have a funny feeling this might have then inspired a reading that I dropped into Instagram. Then we have our week ahead again. So final week of June, finishing the 30th of June on the Friday, Spectral Well and Witch's Wisdom. So we have, so I stopped using the Tarot of Angels for my week ahead, but I think I was using it occasionally down here instead. So I just didn't really stick to it. It was just, so it might have been around, it might not have been. And then for Spirit here, I actually got, there's a song by Rihanna, but that's the line from it, don't let the BCs get you down or break you down. So that's what I put there. I can't remember what I was thinking now, but that was where I was going. And my prompts here, so I've got for the week ahead, for that week, because I've been having a tough month, what are the expectations of me this week in the workplace? What is unrealistic about these expectations? So I've got that here. And what is realistic about these expectations here? So it's to help me understand how to balance these expectations, because I think I was feeling pressure and I was definitely feeling a little bit low than I think I could say energy-wise here. And when my energy is low in energy, how double Dutch is that? So when I am low of energy, it does affect everything else around me, of course, because everyone it would affect. It affects, not moods necessarily per se. I try to keep upbeat, and but I do rein in from everything else. So if people say, oh, you're not around on Facebook or YouTube or this or that, you're not creating, it's because I'm actually doing what's right for me, and I'm pulling my energy in to make sure that I have what I need to serve the immediate life around me, and not, the kind of social media platforms, just because there's an expectation for it. So I'm very happy to not be there when I don't have it to give. So that's something that's I like to encourage others as well to reserve and hold back and look after themselves. And I did do a video, a vlog like a kind of my day off towards the end of June, actually, probably in that week, and what I get up to skincare and food wise. So I've put that in, and I did this was part of my like day off and journaling, so that's in here as well. So for those that saw the vlog, you'd have seen this page. So it's in my tarot journal, as you see. And then with the conversation I was having with Mad Witch, is when I'm doing this, so when I put things in my tarot journal, my art journals get left. I avoid them. Not avoid them, I just don't go to them because I'm drawing in here. And what with my tarot journals, I don't come back to these unless I want a spread. That's the only time I'll come back and look through these at some point, is because I know there's a spread in whatever or whatever month or whatever moon, and I'll come back and find that spread. But my art's going to get lost in the pages, which I don't know. Part of me is a bit sad that this is where the art is and it's not going to be in my other journal of art that I can flick through and come back to. So I don't know whether I'm going to photocopy them, or if I'm going to photocopy this, stick this back in my journal, rip this out and stick this into my art journal. Does that make sense? Just so I don't lose them, because this is the hand-drawn piece. So do I want a photocopy of this stuck in my other journal, or do I want the actual hand drawing stuck into my journal? Anyway, I haven't decided, but that's where I'm at for July. Right, and what I do need to know now is all those decks that I use, because I kind of messed it up and spread it around, didn't I? So we can go through all the decks that came in. And I think I just have to go grab one deck a second. Okay, what should we look at first is the question. Drum roll, please. Well, should we do the dailies first? Because that's easy. Started with the Lily White Tarot. By this lady here on her website. So it's the white deck, for those that don't know that there are two versions of this. There's a Lily White and a Lily Black. I would love to have the Lily Black, it's gorgeous. In fact, I'd love all of her decks, they're gorgeous. The Boo Tarot and the Foxy one, absolutely beautiful decks, but for some reason France charges an awful lot of money to get them into the UK, and I can't afford them all. So they are just on my little one-day wish list. So for the most part, this was a daily deck, and most of my dailies were one card pulls. Sometimes they were two cards, so maybe if I split the decks. Sometimes I had two cards will come out, sometimes it's one card. But as a deck, it's beautiful artwork. The colours go gorgeously together. And on the rare occasion, I was using the Wylder Ones Oracle next to this, because I found that they went together quite nicely. But I'd say a rare occasion that happened. Most of the time I'd just use this, partway through the day, pull a card, just see what it said, leave it on the desk, and have fun with it. But the artwork in this is really kind of thought-provoking, beautiful colours. There we go. So that was my dailies for the most part. I've never noticed, actually. I'm just noticing now there's a lot of foxes in the deck. I don't know why I've never noticed that before. Today's the first time that I'm noticing. So it just comes in a box with a ribbon. And this one just as a standalone, as I said, beautiful deck. Love the weird symbols and energies in this. And the white space. So this is the Wylder Ones from Sharon McLeod. And it's a Blue Angel publication. So I think they were a good pairing with all that lovely white space. But this didn't get used anywhere near as often as I thought it was going to be. So, as I say, life got busy and things got sort of hit and miss, to be fair. I can't pretend that it wasn't. So that was those. That's the simple straightforwards. What do we use? So, this one. Tower of Angels from Los Scarabeo. Those are the backs. These are the cards. And Oracle deck. Let me just double check the Oracle that went with this one the most. Was this one from Colette Baron Reid. Those are the backs. These are the fronts. I have to bring it out a little bit for this one because it was a 3-card reading for the most part. And I'm laying it out this way rather than, it's beautiful to show with the Oracle in the middle and the cards either side, but that's not how I read. It's how I like to look at decks. I love to look at decks that way, but this is how I read this. So this is how a reading would have read for me on my table. So I'm doing it that way. So we have the 8 of Pentacles with the Hermit and the 9 of Pentacles flying high. Interesting, there's a lot of grey in those cards though for Pentacles. And then we have suddenly the colour with the unicorny. Is it a horse? No, it is a unicorn. He's got a little tiny spike there that's not overly obvious, but I think that's just beautiful. So flying high over the maze of troubles and woes. So we have Justice, Cups, Wands, Balancing Act. So I think that's really interesting to have the 2 either side of each other. And the boat there is on a little bubble on a tightrope or a wire. Very evidently balancing everything that's going on. And we have what looks like lots of love and hearts falling out as well. So that balancing act, that could be anything, you know, between emotion, head, heart, desire, sensibility. So we have a Hierophant with Strength and the 10 of Cups, Deep Freeze. So it brings out, so these cards bring out some thought and they provoke the backs of your mind. And I will always use the book for these decks because she does actually have some really good prompts in there. I know Colette Baron Reid, some people just like poo-poo her altogether. I get it, but actually the books are really good. So don't dismiss the books. So here we have our 7 of Pentacles with the 2 of Cups, the Fool, and then Unexpected Visitors. So watch what it is that you've been practicing creating, I think, because you might be off on a new journey after you've done some creation. And if you weren't planning on it, you could be in for a shock. Here we go, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, the Magician, and Field of Dreams. So creating what you want. Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and Strength. And again, she's holding something which looks like a pentacle. So yeah, I think that this as a pairing, although I wouldn't naturally put them together, I personally felt that they actually did quite well together. And it's nice to have unusual pairings. And maybe it's the colour palette, perhaps this sort of tied it in, I don't know. But what do we have here? So we have this Star with 3 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and Goblins. Hiding, stealing your energy and your dreams. 7 of Wands, the Empress, Ace of Cups with Coming Together. So another unity card there. So that's probably enough of those pairs. I think it's probably sensible if I just go through my book as the decks appeared. So we have the Hush Tarot. And again, this one comes with a little book, worth using, because I find like for moon spreads and for deep questions, this helps seek out the answers that I can't always see in the cards, but I love the artwork in the cards. And that's why I like to use this deck. So these are the backs. This was a 5-card spread. So I don't think there's a set layout for this, but it looks like, what am I doing here? I'm just showing random cards. I'm not really showing you what's going on with the deck. So it was a 5-card spread. So I put 3 down, and then I put 2 down for 4 and 5. But the first row was a 3-card spread, so I sort of uplay them like this, so I know that they go together. And then the 4th card was a double card spread as well, so I'd overlap those so I know that they're together. The rest of single cards. 3 came out together. It wasn't I chose 3. 3 came out together at different points of shuffling, and then I had a 2 there. So that is how I did it. But the deck itself is, I think many call this dark and macabre. It does have a lot of regeneration, decay in it, animals, nature, strange faces, which I think is what a lot of people get turned off with. But the thoughts on the images for me, the images don't instantly connect, because of how I read numerologically and things. I don't need the image to connect the wording. If there's something in the image that I see that promotes an addition to my meaning or my reading, then I use it. For kind of, if I was using this in a daily scenario. If I'm using it to weed out something in my, inner psyche, something I'm not quite understanding, then I'm going to come to the book. And for the book, I don't know, what should we look at here? Let's take a look at the Lovers, because I've never had that card come out. And got the peacock above them. And I've always deemed peacocks to be bad luck. Certainly feathers. You shouldn't have feathers in your house. I don't know where that superstition or old wives' tale came from, but I believe there's something in old wives' tale, so you should never disregard the old wives' tale. So we have the keywords, which we all know: union, equality, positive celebration of goals. And then you have all your other connections, relationships that come with that. So we have the marriage of Shiva and Parvati, the joining of the heavens and earth, one completing the other, trust in one another, lends unity and confidence to deal with difficulties. So the strength of pairs is stronger than the individual. Swans and peacocks are the beautiful messengers of dreaming about all that you can be with no limits. Look beyond the horizon, plan long term for a future built with the two, based on the ideas and dreams of the two. And then in reverse, it means dissonance, weakness, imbalance, and then there's a write-up for that. And then if we have a look at the 10 of Wands, see what that says. They're a bit quicker to do. There's Wands right at the back. So this is basically the 10 of Wands right up here. So upright for 10 of Wands, we have responsibility. The road has been long. You have taken on as much as and can accomplish great things. All of this comes with the heavy burden of having to maintain it. Do not be afraid to delegate and entrust works to others. The insect kingdom is a microcosm of machine, with each participant doing its job. The cat is a reminder to use courage and refined senses to tackle problems, and then reverse is overwhelmed. The strain of your workload is unnecessary burden. Your stubborn will to do everything making life difficult for yourself. Take the time to make plans and task and tackle items in a order. Narrow your chores down to what is most important and remove what is not. So I often go for that, the reverse meanings of the card, to see what comes out when I'm doing my kind of darker side of my self readings. So there is my Hush Tarot. I only did one moon reading. I've noticed that's been a pattern because I've just not had time to come back and do the others. So one moon reading a month, be it the new moon or the full moon. I'm not fussy, one or the other. So we got to there. Then we have our 2 decks that we've shown. And then we went to Spectro World Tarot. This one. Available on Etsy. 78 hand painted cards from Benjamin Allen Simons. So it's the 2nd edition. This one comes with a little guidebook inside. It's currently available on special, I think. And it's a just a bit smaller than the Hush Tarot in size. Nice to handle. Gorgeous bright colours. So if we were looking for a Letha Energy deck, I think this is it. And this went with my Witch's Oracle deck. Which, as you know, has been modified and trimmed. And I've even rewritten the book so I can carry it around with me. And that was a surprise. I did not expect to like that oracle at all. Before I used it, it said I had to cut it. It just said cut me. So I had to trim it down, edged it, and then started working with it. And love it. Let's get us a pile of 3. Let's look at these together. So you can see the black borders just sort of help to frame the artwork, I think, in this deck, because it's so gorgeously beautiful abstract. And it is also a bit pippy as well. So if we're doing, so my 3 card reading would be Let Go, the energy, main energy, and Embrace. So here's my main energy, what I need to let go of and what I need to embrace, go either side. And then my advice from the Oracle goes, obviously, where I've put the Oracle deck. So this is basically how it reads. And look at that for a Queen of Swords. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful card. Well, they all are, but every so often there's one in there that just I kind of like stop, pause and have a look at. So we have the Temperance with the Fool, 2 of Coins, and the Goddess for Transcendence. Another absolutely beautiful card there. And this deck is the one by Sally Morningstar. Yeah, Sally Morningstar. So Sun, Chariot, 5 of Cups with Cord and Initiation. Tower, 2 of Swords, 8 of Swords, and the Wisdom Keeper with the Owl, which is really interesting following on from the 8 of Swords, isn't it? When we associate what most people think of with the 8 of Swords, that kind of stuck, trapped. And even with that big swirl going in there, so we have that swirl going into like a black hole. We have a key symbol being created here with a key above there, look, in the thought process, above the owl's head. And then here we are like looking for the key to unlock what we are unable to make a choice or can't see. Nine of Coins, 5 of Coins, 10 of Wands with Gaia healing. I should do one more of this set. 9 of Wands, Knight of Wands with Strength, so that's a lot of heat there. And then we have the Pentacle for Evocation. And right off the bat, that could be working with the energy around you. So, and then we have the Phoenix. So that's that one. So I take these ones away. And I did also, as I said, this then became a daily pull. So at some point I swapped to using these daily. I'm just pulling a card. I think some of those went onto Instagram as well, actually, thinking about it. But just as a card, you know, standalone, they read, you know, just as gorgeously. But they are beautiful and bright, summery pieces of work. Look at that, lovers. That was a Spectro World Tarot. As I said, that was available on Etsy at quite a good price. Then I used this deck for the summer solstice spread, and that had a set way of laying it out. So we had summer solstice spread from angelroom.com and Richard Oracle. So how to shine your light into the world. Oops. That's interesting. Spider tried to come out again. So we'll just say the cloak. So we've got camouflage. What your angels want you to know was card 2, which went up above. Here we have the serpent. What your ancestors want you to know. Card 3, the spider. That came out up there last time. What to release now is card 4, which goes here, and card 5, how to shine more brightly during the last half of the year, goes over here. We have the silver bow. So just taking a little look at that, of course, I will always use my book. So how to shine your light into the world. Interesting that we have camouflage, because actually that tells you to, you don't have to let everyone know everything about you, okay? So containing that invisibility, the wise one knows when to maintain silence. It's about being the wise person. So shining your light into the world and being the wisdom. So I can't think of an example that's going to make any sense to anyone right now. Knowing how to do something is knowledge. And knowing when not to speak or tell somebody how to do something when they're struggling is the wisdom side of it. Does that make sense? So you don't always have to share your knowledge with everyone at all times, because it's not always being asked for. So that's one way of shining your light better into the world, is learning to refrain from being the helper all the time. Is what I see there. Number 2, your angels want you to know. So we have 19 serpent and power. A ray of creation. When serpent enters your life, you can be assured that creative energy is very high, like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. You have the ability to rise to any challenge at the moment. Serpent is associated with Kundalini. The energy of creation was no surprise there. We have snake rolling up and down a tree. We have 2 people there. You may be shedding something you have outgrown in your life. So that's always good to know, isn't it? So your angels want you to know that you are moving on from something. You're perhaps going to somewhere else, or maybe that you are joining hands with somebody to create a better partnership, a better bond, a better foundation. Or perhaps even learning, because we have the apple there. So I'm thinking knowledge, apple of knowledge. Number 3 is spiders. We have patterns. And this question is what your ancestors want you to know. So I've got patterns. So just knowing that they're around you is all I would have to say for that one. Number 4, what to release now. We have the Horned God, Life Force. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Not ready to go on a journey just yet. Inhibitions and joy. That sounds much better. So what to release right now? Release my fear of inhibitions that shield or shroud my ability to have joy in what I do. I can't think of anything else to go with that. I was just thinking of a scenario, but actually that wasn't around that time of doing this thread. It was a couple of weeks afterwards, so it wouldn't relate to this story at all. So there's no point saying it. And then find what makes you truly happy is what I would say when you're releasing. And then with card 5, the how to shine more brightly during the last half of the year with our silver bow of love is exactly that, isn't it? What you put out into the world, what you reflect from your inner you is what comes back to you and what people see. So, you know, putting out health, happiness, being sure that I'm looking after myself, you know, spending time with the trees, giving them a hug, exchanging energies, listening to music, listening to the world around me. Actually, this is that being present in the moment. That's what this is for me. Be present, listen to what's around you, understand what's around you, because life is definitely fast and I am forgetting to be in the moment. So that's what this one feels like it's giving me right now. And it is linked to the heart chakra, which wouldn't be any surprise here. Excuse me. So that was my summer solstice spread. Put that one away. I am putting things away as I go for a change. That's I'm feeling very good. I want to give myself a pat on the back. And then we did the 3 cats in a cauldron. So this one was these decks, if anyone saw my birthday haul, and what's in the bag. I haven't changed them out of the bag, so it's the same ones. The Magickal Botanical Oracle and the Samirammay, and there's nothing else in there to give. So I have edged this one. There is a guidebook in here. It's just a bit tight pulling it out. And this was a 3-card spread with a card on the end. And for those who aren't aware, my Magickal Botanicals Oracle, I've written on it because I do not need the Latin names on there, and there's so much space where the card could have been a much bigger version, or the image could have just been blown up and filled the card. I think that's how I feel about this deck, instead of leaving all this space for Latin words that are in the book, that I can look up in the book. If I want them, I decided to put the affirmations or the meanings or what I got from the read up of the card onto the deck, so I don't need to carry that box and book around. I just carry this around. One of the first times I felt so strongly about something, and there it is right there, and edged it in red. And then the Samirammay, I think they just go beautifully together in a aesthetical kind of way. Oops, excuse me. So again, it's a little miniature deck, fits in my hands. So the 3-card reading from Cats in the Cauldron. So we had what should I keep growing, what is shining brightest for me right now, and what should I shed at this time. And then some overall energy here. So you can see these do go beautifully, well, in my opinion. It's a pit deck, of course. So what do we have? So we have 10 of Swords, 3 of Cups, Ace of Wands with the Rose. And the keywords for the Rose: love and harmony, beauty, earth connection. Oh, I can't remember. Somebody told me the name of that flower. I need to write it on there. It's to do with Santa Muerta. And we have the Moon, Strength, the Lovers, and paying attention to your dreams to become unstuck. So we have our holly is our, and you see the Holly King there as well. So we have Temperance, Queen of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Oh, I think this is going to be my longest video yet. I am sorry. So 6 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, and then the Bleeding Hearts. So those were my decks there. Put those away. And then I still have 2 decks out on my table. Where did I use these then? Oh, I know. For a daily, a couple of dailies. So for a couple of dailies, I wanted clarification on the card that came out, so I had the Abandoned Oracle. And on another occasion, I wanted more clarification, so I pulled the Lonely Souls Oracle out as well to give the extra clarification, because I didn't have enough, is how I felt. And the two went well together. And I do believe it was on a day when I had people coming, so I tidied up my decks, and this was the deck that I had to hand for my daily on that particular day. It was a random, so in theory I wouldn't normally do this, but here's what happened. So I needed a card, I wanted clarity on it, and then I needed a bit of extra kind of advice on what was going on. So that was what happened. And I thought, just generally as a set of cards for a spread, they went quite beautifully together. These two go together quite well. I didn't think of putting them together. So yeah, so we have Two of Cups with the Asylum and the Twilight Nocturne, and then I've written my points to the card around the edges in gold. So again, I don't need the box and I don't need the book for that. I've got what I need. Five of Pentacles with the Sculpture and the Perpetual Particulars. The keywords don't mean a lot to me, which is why I've had to write around the edges. So Perpetual Particulars for me would mean breaking larger problems down into smaller tasks. What have I been putting off? And what details should I look more closely at through my Perpetual Particulars? And there's a kind of magnifying glass examining what's going on. We have Justice with Poison and the Ballroom of Echoes. The Ballroom of Echoes has an interesting meaning to it as well. So it starts here. Metamorphosis brings new wisdom, but old unhealed wounds can fester. What old negative patterns am I experiencing? How can I address them so that they can be healed? So the writing doesn't show up very well on screen. But you need to get it just so, and then you can actually read that really well. So it works well for me. And then there we go. Six of Cups with the Feeling and Black Silk Armour. And again, her message is diplomacy, compassion and fairness, which makes sense, feeding with the Six of Cups. So that was that one. Right. If you want to stick around, I'll show you a few things that have come in. I won't do full flip throughs, but I'm aware that this is going to make this one really long video and you're going to be bored, so bored of listening to me go on and on and on. And I'm sorry, because I'm aware that my videos have got longer and longer over time. They've gone from a 20-minute slick production to this outrageous, never-ending prattle. Right. I've done a walkthrough of this one. The Tantric Dakini Oracle. Beautiful big book, which I will break into when I'm ready to break into it, because there's more in there than I understand. I have the cards still in order. It runs like a tarot deck, which is why I am fascinated by this. And it has this weird universal cosmological background. And what I will do on here at the bottom is I will just add a few keywords from the book to keep me going with this for a while. And oh no, it's not in order. I did shuffle it. I shuffled it on the video. So yeah, so I have this deck in here, which I'm looking forward to getting to know. In fact, I might just turn the cards over, see if they bend down the other way. So we have the Tantric Dakini Oracle. This is the edition that comes with the book. The old edition doesn't come with the book, so get this edition. We have 100 plants that heal. This lady, or you might recognize this in general, there's an oracle deck made by this person, and it's 50 plants that heal in the oracle deck. And I was going to buy that deck, and then I discovered the book has 100 plants in it. Well, why would I not buy the book? Why would I buy the deck if I could get more from the book? Because I'm hardly ever going to use the deck. So I wanted the deck just for the information. And I've found this book and I ordered it, and it's gorgeous. Look at this. It's amazing. She's kind of set it up as a grimoire. She's got the way I love it. The aesthetic is beautiful. This is what I love. Perfect. Little tags, little frames, little borders, pictures, an actual real picture of the plant so that I'm not going to get it wrong. So I can see, because from drawings, you can't always tell from a drawing. For instance, not completely clear about the holly from this drawing. Not completely clear what flower that is. I mean, I can see it, but I'm not 100% sure what it is, okay, because it's a drawing, it's an artist's interpretation. Here, there's interpretation of how to use this, how to create things, what to do, the methods, toxicity levels. But there's a picture that shows me that here's how it looks on the vine when it's growing. Here it is in its baby form. Here's the grapes coming through. And then there's, you know, other images. And that's what I like about this. So this is the 100 Plants That Heal book. I won't be using much of this. This is here, so it's on my shelf, so I can dip in and out of it. Because there's a few that I'd like to know that are in my garden. I don't have these 100 in my garden. And there are ones that are in my garden that actually aren't in here, which I was a little bit like, oh, that's a shame. But the ones that are, the important ones are in here. The mint, you know, lavender, rosemary, those sorts of things. So plenty for me to have a look at and see if I can work with them in a different way. So I got that one. The medieval Scapini, as many of you know. This one, there's a walkthrough on my channel. I've compared it with the Golden Visconti. So it's quite amusing pictures, illustrated Pippi-esque, very dark, medieval as per the title, which somebody did say that now that they've seen it next to another deck, they can understand or they can appreciate the medieval aspects to this deck as how it's been drawn to be depicted as. So I had that one. No, I haven't worked with it yet. I don't know when I'll get around to working with it. It's not in my rotation plan just yet either. So we have that one. I need to trim it and things as well. The Rana George Lenormand arrived after watching her on Musings by Masha's channel, and I've got the book as well that goes with this. This is from US Games, and that was the point. I didn't know US Games did this deck, and you can see it's got lots of gold foiling on it. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. My little magpie eye wasn't going to not jump on this as soon as it realised US Games does it. I thought it was a private deck, and I thought I'd kind of like missed it and it was all out print and things, so I never really bothered to look into it. So as soon as she said, oh yeah, US Games, I was like, right, off we go to buy, to market. And these are her interpretations, and she obviously, we've got the guidebook here where she goes through and tells you about each card. And then I bought the big book for Rana George where she teaches you or goes through, you know, her method of reading with these. And this deck also has her extra cards that she's created that replace some of the meanings of the basic Lenormand cards that are in here. So this deck is gorgeous. No, I don't read Lenormand. I plan to have a go or try. This will just be something I play with in my own time. It's not something I'll ever probably use to read for other people because I'm not confident. But I do like the cards. So, you know, sometimes just looking and getting familiar with and understanding is all you need to do. The Seasons of the Witch, Mabon Oracle. Oh, can I just say, for the longest ever time, I resisted. I did not want to order. I didn't pre-order. I didn't look. You know, I just said no, basically, because I kind of had enough of these oracles. Really fallen out of love with a couple and got rid of them. The Samirammay one, though, I can't talk highly enough of it. Absolutely, I love that deck. Love it. Use it all year round. And that was my point. I know they're seasonal and they're not supposed to be, but it was like I felt like I couldn't use them all year round for some of them, and some of them just, you know, half the deck made sense and half the deck just didn't. And that was it. I was like, I'm not using half a deck. Just, you know, it's gone. And then I ordered it, and let me tell you, it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love the cards, and I'm thinking of merging this with the Samirammay deck and creating a bumper oracle. And that might be all I need. I don't think I'm going to need any more. I think those two for me are going to do everything that I need from an oracle. But I haven't done a walkthrough of this yet. It's coming. It'll be up within the next hours probably, or days. But these cards, the meanings on them, the little poems. Some people, right, I get it, they don't make sense to everyone. They're not supposed to. That means it's not for you. Move on, find another deck, just like other people's decks don't make sense to me. But yeah, I like the fact that we have actual herbs and spices in here. So cacao, you're loved, you're held, you're ready, you're everything you seek. Doesn't that just go with that hot cup of cocoa when you sink into that chair on a winter's day? That kind of warm hug in a mug feeling, that love. Being out by the campfire, do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. Telling stories by the campfire. I mean, not literal lies and life stories, but telling stories to inspire others, allowing your imagination to run riot, to, you know, inspire people at the campfire. The coming of darkness. It's got kitchen in here, it's got tea, here we have cranberries. So devour the truth and let it sink into the depths of all that came before and all that will come after. Yeah, the artwork's not you know, high-end art, but I think they're just gorgeous. There's something about this one and the Samhain one, the Halloween one. I love it. So we have fire cider. Actually, while you're here, I'm curious to know if I get a recipe for fire cider, number 16. The book feels quite well packed on this one as well. Fire cider, truth manifestation. There it is. Fire cider for the soul. So that's the thing as well that I like about these decks. They do that, so you get a recipe there. It tells you how to do it, instructions. So the right time of year for me, basically. We have a card for grieving. It's not all too light, it's got darkness, it's got real life stuff in it. So yeah, Harvest Witch, molasses, root vegetables. So yes, I am looking forward to, once I've got this one walked through and up and out, playing with it. Because I sat and I looked at this for ages and ages last night, just the cards, just taking in the wording, the imagery. I mean, I can't tell you, there is something that's connected deeply here with this deck. And it's really interesting to be in that position. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. May you all enjoy your cards. May you enjoy having fun with them. And may you mix them up and, you know, experiment. Don't be scared to do something that is a little bit out of the norm for you. And until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.